A warm wishes to one and all. Welcome back, my dear students, for the online session. Today we are going to discuss on a topic called as C preprocessor. So today we are going to discuss on what is a preprocessor is and what are the uses of preprocessor, what are the advantages of preprocessors, and we will understand macros and how do we uh, define all these preprocessors. And let us look at one by one. First, let us understand what does a preprocessor mean. A preprocessor is a program that processes source code, what you have written it in C, before it passes through the compiler in order to get compilation. There are some preprocessor commands or directives such as hash define, hash include stdio.h, hash include math.h. All these are placed before the source code, as we have seen it from the day one of a C programming class. You might have observed it. The very first line of a program begins with the preprocessor directive itself. That too, hash include stdio.h. To include the various instructions to the compiler in the C source code, some directives are used. As I've said it, hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, hash include string.h, or all these are called as preprocessor directives. Preprocessor expands the scope of the programming environment. Preprocessor commands that are used. Preprocessor expands the scope of the programming environment, and preprocessor commands are executed before the compiler compiles the source code. So these commands will change the original code of the according to the operating environment and adds the code that will required by the calls to a library function. Unlike we have seen some examples while executing a program to find a square root of a given number or to find a power of a given number. In such situations, we will be using a built-in function such as power function as well as square root functions. So in such cases, when we call a particular library function, so at that time that code will be replaced with a preprocessor directive code. I hope you are understanding it. So in this slide also there is a explanation about a preprocessor. You can understand it. The preprocessor will process directives that are inserted into the C source code. So these directives allow additional actions to be taken on a C source code before it is compiled into a object code, as I have said it the before itself. So these directives are not part of the C language. So preprocessor directives begin with a symbol, hash symbol, and they may have several arguments. Now let us look at into a uses. There are two main uses of preprocessors. The first one is to include external files such as header files, such as stdio.h, math.h, string.h, ctype.h, float.h, etc. Another may use is to define macros. In a very while short, we are going to discuss on a macros also. So now let us discuss what are the advantages of preprocessor in C language. The first advantage we have, which improves the readability of the C program. The process of the preprocessors improves the readability of a C program. And the next advantage we have is which makes the C program easy to maintain. And the next advantage we have is which makes the C program more portable. The program may be compatible or concise. That's what we say is portable. I hope you are getting a clarity of what does a preprocessor mean. So now let us look at into some of the preprocessors which are used in our C language. So in this table, which describes the some of the directives, the preprocessor directives, such as --include, --define, --undef, --if, --if and def, --elf, --else, --endif, --warning, --error. Even we have one more is --pragma also. The following the column which describes description about the respective directives with the example of the directives. So next we will look at into each one, so in order to understand in a better way. The first one, as we have seen it, as we have learnt it already, --include stdio.h. So in this session I'm not going to discuss on --include statements, as we have learnt it from the past first day of a C programming till today. So now let us look at into the second one, #define. In a C programming, #define directive allows the definition of macros within your source code. These macro definitions allow constant values to be declared for use throughout a code. I hope you people are getting the point. And you may have a doubt what is exactly a macro is. A macro is a name given to a block of C statement as a preprocessor directive. A macro is defined with the preprocessor directive itself. That's what we have a #define, #undef, #ifdef, #if and def, #else, elif. So these are nothing but a macro itself. Indeed, all these are nothing but it's a function itself. So in the slide, we have given a macro definition, that is #define macro syntax. You could see the syntax of this #define. #define, this is string, this is numeric, and one more we have is an expression and a constant type also. So you could see that all these things, there is a note to be remembered that you should not put a semicolon at the end of the #define statement. So quite this is a common mistakes the students will commit at the time of executing the preprocessor programs. So now let us look at into an example. You can use #define directive to define a string constant. See, look at the string. In a program I have declared two macro directives. One as name string type, another one is a numeric type. String type, the value I have given it is www.prk.com, and value is 4. And this at last when you run this program, you get the output as of www.drprk.com is over 4 years old. And you can see an example of #define directive to define a constant using an expression. You could see that #include stdio.h, #define age. Age is a name of the macro directive. So expression is 16/4. So this program will display the macro name which is displayed in the output www.drprk.com is over 4 years old. Next, let us look at into a hash define macros, that is hash if. So in the hash if directives, which allows for conditional compilation, the preprocessor evaluates an expression provided with the hash if directive to determine if the subsequent code should be included in the compilation process. Let us look at this program. You could understand. So as define Windows is a macro of a type as define, and the value is 1. So in this program, I'm using a hash if it satisfies this, and the followed statement will be printed, and we have used a hash endif which ends the hash f, and the output of this program will be www.drprk.com is a great Windows resource. I hope you are understanding. The next, we are going to look at hash undef, which is a directive which tells the preprocessor to remove all definitions for the specified macro. A macro can be redefined after it has been removed by the undef directives. So suppose what exactly this undef directive does here, which removes the definitions which are previously defined, and which you can replace it, or you can redefine the macros by using undef. So let us look at this. In a program you could see this hash define years old 12, and then number value I have used it as a 12, and hash undef years. In place of hash define, I could use hash undef years old. So this we are going to look at in this program. So here what I have did, if hash if def years old, so this statement will redefine the statement as of www.drprk.com is a great resource. So in this given example, the years old macros is first defined with a value of 12 and then undefined using the hash undef directive. Since the macro no longer exists, as you could see this we have used it, which is not exist, so the statement if def years old evaluates to false. So this causes a subsequent printf statement to be printed. So here the output of this program will be www.drprk.com is a great resource. I hope you are understanding the concepts. In a similar way, so the other macro definitions or directives we could use it, such as hash if and def, which returns true if this macro is not defined, and hash if we have seen it, and hash else is also there, the alternative for hash if, that is if the condition is satisfied, the followed statement will be printed. If not, this else statement will be macro will be executed. So even we have hash else if, hash else and hash if is one statement. It's a combination of hash if and hash else statements. And even we have hash endif, which ends the preprocessor conditionals. And we have hash error, prints error message onto the standard error preprocessor. And as I have told it in the beginning itself, hash pragma is also one directive we have it in a C programming, which issues special commands to the compiler using a standardized method. So I hope you understood the concepts of C preprocessors. Now let us begin with the concepts of file inclusion. So in file inclusion, which inserts the contents of a specified file into the text stream delivered to the compiler. Usually, standard headers and global definitions are included in the program stream with the hash include directives. This actually is nothing but a file inclusion as. This can be achieved in two ways. One is we call it as a standard form. Another one is general. See, let us look at this user form. So the format of file, uh, I'll show you. I'll show you with the notepad so that you could understand it. If you include, if you use a format hash include with the angle bracket, with the angle bracket, this is a standard one. And if you use a file inclusion method by using quotation, then this is nothing but a user. What does it mean? In general, the quoted form, which you could see it, hash include double quotation mark sample dot c, which is used to include files written by the users. Whatever we have written it, that will be included into it. And when we use a angle brackets form, which is used to include standard library files. Are you getting my point? Let's understand with an example how this file inclusion method will be used in a programming. Let us look at this program. So in this program, I have written a small block of statements in which I'm going to call a function, that is some function I'm going to call it, which has a two parameters with a named, I have declared a variables as of a and b, and I'm just passing a variable in the function itself, sum a comma b. See, you could see that I have not written a function subprogram into this file itself, as you could as we were doing it in the earlier programs. The function will be included in the same program itself, but what I have done it, I've just included it in separate file, and I've named it as of sample.c. This function definition, I've written it in some other file and named it as of sample.c, and I've called this sample.c with the help of hash include within an angle bracket, sorry, within a quotation mark, sample.c, close the quotation mark. See, now compile this program got compiled with successfully, and now this run this program, you could see that result as of sum is equals to 30. I hope you understood the concept. This is what the concept of file inclusion. So what does file inclusion does here, which inserts the content of this sample.c function which is there in some other file and get compiled when you call this as a function. Thank you guys.